But she answered him, "Yes, Lord. Yet even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." Mark chapter 7 verse 28. This simple yet profound response, uttered by a Syrophoenician woman to Jesus, reveals a depth of faith and humility that resonates across centuries. It is a testament to the power of persistent prayer, a beacon of hope for those who feel unworthy, and a gentle reminder of the boundless grace that overflows from the heart of God. The setting itself is significant. Jesus, seeking respite from the crowds and the demands of his ministry, had withdrawn to the region of Tyre. This was Gentile territory, a place far removed from the familiar landscape of Jewish tradition and expectation. The woman, described as a Syrophoenician, was an outsider in every sense of the word. A Gentile, a woman, and a member of a culture often viewed with suspicion, she approaches Jesus with a desperate plea. Her daughter is grievously afflicted by a demon, and she begs him to cast it out. Initially, Jesus seems to dismiss her, stating, "Let the children be fed first, for it is not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs." This statement, on the surface, appears harsh, even exclusionary. It reflects the prevailing societal mindset that prioritized the chosen people, the children of Israel, over the Gentiles, who were often relegated to the status of dogs in the cultural hierarchy. But it is in the woman's response that the brilliance of faith shines. She doesn't argue, she doesn't demand, she doesn't succumb to despair. Instead, with unwavering humility, she acknowledges the prevailing hierarchy, yet finds hope in the very imagery used to exclude her. "Yes, Lord," she replies, "yet even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." Her words are pregnant with meaning. She concedes that the children, the Jewish people, are indeed the rightful recipients of God's blessings. But she also recognizes that the crumbs, the overflow, the remnants of that blessing, are still enough. Enough to heal her daughter. Enough to demonstrate the boundless generosity of God. She understands that even a fragment of God's grace is sufficient to meet her desperate need. Her humility is not passive resignation, but active faith. It's a recognition of her own unworthiness, coupled with an unwavering belief in the power and compassion of Jesus. She is not entitled, but she is hopeful. She is not demanding, but she is persistent. She understands that she is asking for a favor, a blessing that is not inherently hers, yet she trusts that Jesus, in his infinite mercy, will grant her request. This encounter teaches us several invaluable lessons. Firstly, it dismantles the walls of exclusion and prejudice. God's grace is not limited by ethnicity, gender, or social status. It extends to all who come to him with a humble and believing heart. Secondly, it underscores the power of persistent prayer. The woman's unwavering faith, her refusal to be discouraged by Jesus' initial response, ultimately led to her daughter's healing. It reminds us to persevere in prayer even when faced with apparent obstacles or delays. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, it highlights the boundless generosity of God. Even the crumbs of his blessing are more than enough to meet our deepest needs. We may feel unworthy. We may feel as though we are on the periphery of God's favor, but the truth is that his grace is abundant and freely available to all who seek him. The Syrophoenician woman's words echo through the ages, a testament to the transformative power of faith, humility, and persistent prayer. They remind us that even in our moments of deepest need, when we feel like the dogs under the table, the crumbs of God's grace are sufficient to heal, to restore, and to bring us into the fullness of his love.